Hi guys, today we're going to talk about how to keep training. Speaking of training, I'm about to go to the gym, so I'm gonna do something first while I talk to you. Okay, so in order to maintain this lifestyle, the one where you train most days of the week so you can achieve the body that you always wanted, you need to keep training on a really strict schedule, if you get what I mean. So that doesn't mean to train every day or to wake up at 3 a.m., some David Goggins shit. Just keep the habits of going to the gym. So we're going to talk about how to build this habit from scratch. For new... Okay. To build this habit, you need to start small. So you're not going to go to the gym 6 times a week straight away. You're just going to go a few times a week, maybe 2 or 3. And just see how that goes. You're not going to overtrain, you're not going to injure yourself this way. In order to keep going to the gym, you'll need to not get discouraged when you bitch out, okay? There will be times where you were supposed to go to the gym, but instead you went and sat on the couch, watched Netflix all night. That's going to happen, okay? That's not a big deal. Absolutely. Because when you get discouraged by such small things, that's not productive. What's going to happen is you're just going to get demoralized, and we all know that that's the first thing you gotta take care of, your mind, okay? If you got a weak mind, you're not going to go anywhere. So we're not talking about fortifying your mind just right now. We're talking about building these habits and making sure that you get to a strict routine, the one I talked about earlier, as soon as you can. In order to build this strict routine, the one we talked about earlier, you have to talk about the concept of progressive overload. What does that mean? To progressively overload something, you need to overload, so each time you do a habit, you go a little further than the previous time, but doing it progressively. So let's say you went to the gym on Monday and you did 3 sets of flat bench press, okay? With 20 kilograms, you know, the barbell. Maybe you want to overload, okay? So you say, okay, I did 20 kilograms, I want to do 60 this time. You're not ready. You're not. That's not progressive. To progressively overload, you need to add a little bit of weight, you need to add a little bit of reps. This is a process which is done very gradually, because otherwise you're going to get injured, or you're going to cheat on your diet, you're going to stop going to the gym. This can be applied to all things in life, okay? This is non-negotiable, okay? Progress in the gym is made through progressive overload. How can you apply this to build a strict routine? It's easy. Let's say this week you went to the gym 1 time, okay? Why? Because you were lazy, you were tired, you studied, you had to work. You're just going to say and promise yourself, I'm going to go 2 times this week. Why not 6? Why not maybe 3, as our routine told us to do? Because you're not ready yet. You're not ready to risk breaking promises to yourself and getting demoralized. You just need to progressively overload the times in which you go to the gym during your week. Not going to do anything crazy. You went one time, promise yourself that you're going to go 2 times this week. You bitched out on the last set of bench press last time, you only did 2 instead of 3. That's fine. Promise yourself that you're going to go and do 3 sets this time. That's progressive overload. Nothing crazy, okay? Next, we're going to talk about complacency, okay? So complacency, as progressive overload, can be applied to all things in life, okay? Work, your studies, the gym, your diet even. So, after the first month of going to the gym, I think that you're going to experience complacency. Maybe you're seeing some results, maybe not in your physique, but just in how you train, how you feel. Maybe you've achieved the strict routine that we talked about earlier. Maybe you're going 3, 4 times. Maybe you're going 6 times a week, okay? That's fantastic. Let's say on a Monday, you got chest day, okay? You're on your couch and your alarm goes off, it's time to go to the gym. And you don't want to. You're saying to yourself, well, I don't need to because that's not going to do anything. One day, if I bitch out today, that's not going to affect my gains. I've already built a strict routine. I'm already training. That's complacency. So I'm not saying that you can't skip the gym, okay? You totally can. But if you get this type of thoughts, just realize, for now, just realize that you're about to get complacent. What does it mean to get complacent? It means that you had something to do, but you think that you're superior to it, so you don't do it. Let me just say, not even Arnold Schwarzenegger was superior to training chest day, back day. He wasn't. He won Mr. Olympia multiple times. He wasn't superior to training, you know? Maybe you're asking, how do I not get complacent? You can't not get complacent. At some point, you're just going to think about skipping the gym. You're going to think about cheating on your diet. You're going to think about going on a bulk when you said you were on a cut. That's going to happen. My advice is try to stay disciplined all the way through your gym journey. Because, as I'm going to talk about in future videos, this isn't something that you are going to do for a period of your life. In order to stay in shape, the gym must be something that you do on a daily basis. Exercise is non-negotiable, okay? It's like dieting. Most people go on a hard diet thinking that they're going to get a six-pack in 3 months and then they're going to be okay for the rest of their life. They're not. Matter of fact, most people that, from obese, they become pretty skinny, they regain the weight after some months. Why? Because they got complacent. Because they were on a strict diet that they couldn't maintain and they gained their weight back. They became even obese. Let's say they were 10 kgs overweight. Now they're 20. Why? Because they let themselves go. That's how it works. When you stop doing the good habits, you're going to do the bad habits. And when you do the bad habits, symptoms will show. Maybe you get fat, maybe you lose muscle. You cheat on your diet for 3 months straight, you're going to get fat. How couldn't you not be? That's complacency. So we covered all three concepts that I want to talk about in this video, so I'm gonna leave you now and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.